guys, welcome back to Docket 360, and today we are going to work in Photoshop, and I'm going to show you how people fake orb videos, or photos I should say, not videos. I'm doing this for educational purposes only, that way you guys can see how some people do it and give you an idea of what to look for when you're looking at some of these photographs that are being posted like daily all over the place. So let's get into it here. I'm in Photoshop. You can use any photo manipulation software you want. If you don't have Photoshop, GIMP's an excellent alternative, and it's free. I'll pop a link up here on the screen, and I'll also drop it down there into the description for you. But any software will work as long as you can manipulate layers, opacities, and add certain effects to it. Anything should work, but GIMP and Photoshop by far are the best ones for doing this. So let's get into it here. I got a picture loaded up already. This is my daughter. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to open up a new file. We're going to leave the photograph there. We're going to open up a new file, and we're going to create a brush. So I'm just going down here to my ellipse tool, get all my settings set up, and then I'm going to hold shift and drag out a circle. Basic circle. Yeah, I know the brushes have circles, but what we need to do now is fade it, because we just want a little gray on the inside, and we want that nice thick border. So once we have that, we can go ahead and edit and define brush preset right there, and we're going to call this Orb 1. Okay, hit OK. Done. We don't need this anymore, so we can close that out. Now we'll go over here to our brush tool. Excuse me. And we want to select our orb brush we just made, which is this one. And then we want to change the size down to, this all depends on the size of your photograph too, how big you make this brush. But you want to, typical of what you see when you see orbs, which is kind of fishy also in my opinion, that most of the orbs you see are all pretty darn close to the same size. There's no variation, which you think in nature there'd be variation. So just one more of my opinions on orb photographs. That's why 90% of them are dust. That's what I always say. All right, so we got this. Now what we want to do is we want to create a new layer here. So we're going to go layer, add one layer, and we're going to go over here to our brush presets, and we're going to adjust. So we'll go to brush tip shape, and we'll adjust the spacing up to about where we see just 4 on the screen, 201%, that's good. Shape dynamics, we want to make sure the jitters all the whole way up. That way it adjusts size randomly. And then scattering, we want to tick that, go into the settings, and just make sure our count's pretty good. We don't want too many, because we're just going to be sporadically, placing them around the image. Okay, once that's done, we got our new layer selected. And all I'm going to do, since I got all them presets in there, is just click and drag a little bit up in this corner. Just a little bit. See that? And then I'm going to come down here, maybe do the same thing on this side, that one. Okay, just that. That's all we need. So once that's done, we're going to add a new layer. Okay, and we're going to adjust the brush size a little bit bigger. And we're going to come to the same spot and just add a little bit. Just different things in. And we want to try not to get too worried about symmetry, because again, you're trying to go for something that's natural looking. So you want to kind of just go with it. And a lot of these smaller ones you're not going to see, and I'll show you here when I'm finished. So there's that. Looks pretty cheesy, pretty shoddy, huh? Yeah, I will admit that it does. So that's where this interesting little tip comes in here with the opacity. So we're going to take layer 1, the first new layer we made, and we're going to turn that down, way down to about, 20-25%. And then the top layer, we're going to turn this way down as well, like so. And now for both layers, we'll go up here to Gaussian blur. You can find that just under blur down here. Blur them up, okay. And then since that's already selected, we'll blur that up. And there we have it. We got orbs. And you can tweak the opacity a little bit to see what you want to do. Now you can see here why I left that outline, because now it looks like, you know, it's got some kind of defined border edge, but it's still, you know, a lot more translucent through the center of the image. So that's good there. That's good. Now we'll go to the second layer where we put the small ones on and grab our eraser tool, because some of these are just a little bit much. So we're just going to go through, just clear some of them up here. Now I got my opacity for my erase tool set at around 50%. That way I can still leave some. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit more. And now I'm just going to hit some individual spots with it. See what I did there? Just really I'm really just kind of manually tweaking my opacities doing it this way. So you don't want to do anything like that. See, I messed that up, so I'm going to go back. You can see on this layer how I got, you can see that circle edge. We don't want that, so we're going to go ahead and delete that. I got a little too careless there. So once that's history is erased, and we have right there. There we go. We've got orbs. Pretty simple. And like I say, this is really quick. You can really get in detail, make these really realistic by not having so many. Like if you just wanted to do one, here I'll show you how to do that. If you want to just do one orb, we'll go back to our orb brush. We got it. It's set at 13. And we are going to, we got to create a new layer because I don't want to go over the other ones. So we're on a new layer. And I'm going to adjust my size again. And just to make one orb, like if you want, say, one real big one that just goes by your shoulder, or it's in the, maybe in the background. Like here's a really cool technique. Like you can see the corner of the wall there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tick that there like that, right where the edge of this little knee wall is. And I'm going to go ahead and blur it. So now I got my blur. And then I'm going to go ahead with that opacity. Really cut it down good. Really get it to where it's there. Now I am going to make this appear as though it's behind that wall moving out. So I got my eraser tool, turned the opacity the whole way up so that it erases solid. And I'm just going to zoom in really tight on this. Right up here. You can see how real that looks even when it's zoomed full in like this. Which is why this technique and the proper software is really crucial in doing this. So I'm on the new layer, we create the single orb one. Now I am just going to go ahead and erase down just the bulk of it. I mean, you can see it's still pretty shoddy looking. But that's fine, that's what I want, because I want to go smaller and smaller with my brush so that I can really get that wall. And you gotta really go down nice. Softly with it, taking your time. And as you can see, it's not perfectly straight, but like I say, with more time, you can get really good at doing this. Now we'll zoom out, back to the normal size. Right there. Now it kind of appears like it's coming out on the wall. It is what it is. But you can see my point is what I'm going after there. So that works. And again, like I say, the regular single orb is just the same way. You just click. Excuse me. We'll go bigger. We'll just put a big orb there. Oh, I had the eraser tool. Didn't have my brush on. There we go. It's right there. And again, it's just all about the opacity level and your blur. And boom, we got an orb. Now to really make this, want to show light, we can go into blending options and go to put an outer glow on it. Make it white. You want it to try to match, but you can add like a light blue. Really does add some authenticity to it. I'm gonna adjust my size. Yeah, so now I can go into here and I'll actually add like a blue. We'll go with like a light purple hue. Like so, and you can see it's got a little purple hue on it. Now, you don't want to go too crazy with this because the size is what matters, not the spread when it comes to this. And there we go. Now we got a little purplish hue going on around it as well. So now that's in the photo. Yeah, works really good. Technique is awesome. And you can always, if you want to really, like I say, you can get in so much detail with this. It's insane, really. Just blur it out. See, I mean, it's so much you can do with it. So yeah, that's that. That's orbs. Very simple technique, easy to do. Like I said, I'm not getting into too much detail with it because it's not really an instruction video. I just want to show you how to do it. And what you can look for to see if you're looking at other photographs to determine authenticity is like you can take them and zoom in. Like what I'll do here, I'll show you exactly a good way to do it. Zoom out. If these edges are really, really crisp and super sharp, 9 times out of 10, it's a fake. Because I can even make these even more blurred out if I wanted to by adjusting that blur filter that I put on there and really make them blurred out. You want to look for that. And also what you can do is I'll load this up as though it was the image itself. Like I'll go here and I'll apply the image. So now I got just the image like that, and all these here don't matter anymore. I can just hide all of them. And there's the image finished. But if I go up here to image adjustments and invert this, you can see that the object is in there. And being that it's darker than a lot of the images you can see besides like the door obviously, but I'm talking about other objects like my daughter, her cousin, which is standing beside her and things like that. You can see how dark it is in comparison. Chances are that that's a fake. If you invert it and you see something with this type of an effect, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a fake video or a fake clip. Very simple technique on how to do that. There's other ways, color enhancements. You can adjust color balance levels, things of that nature to also help you out. But that's one quick way of determining something is fake or not. So what we'll do now is just really, really quickly, I'll just show you how to do the other effect with like plasma, I guess you could say. You want to call it plasma? As you can see, that's way too big. I'm going to turn it down. That there should be good. And again, over to the brush effects. And this time, I want shape dynamics and I don't want scattering because I want it to pretty much be like this. Now I got the new layer on. I got my color is white. Now all I got to do is we'll put it, let's say, right here. Coming through the picture. Okay, very simple. Again, just blur it. Now we'll go some blending options and we'll do outer glow again. Take this color, make it something that's light. Just make sure nothing, opacity and everything is good when you're doing this. And the size of the blur, boom, bam, there you go. I got plasma in my screen. That's simple. So, and again, same thing applies with the invert. So I'll add a new layer. Yes, now I'll apply the image like so. Now when we apply the image, I'll hide every other layer. On the applied image, I'll go ahead and invert. Bam, see how dark it is? That's an added effect. You can tell that. I mean, most photos, if you do this, you'll see that if you're adding over top of the original, you'll get this. But if, like I say, but other than that, I mean, just looking at it, who's to say? You know what I mean? It could be anything. So, but yeah, that's it. That's all I want to show you. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. You can send me an email at docket360@gmail.com. You can hit me up there if you have any questions. If you're trying how to do this, or if you may be interested in a live feed instructional or a couple more advanced techniques, that's something that I could possibly do in the future. But until then, if you guys enjoyed this, found it helpful, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, share it with your friends, do all that good stuff. And if you have any content that you'd like me to place in one of my videos, please send it over to the same email, docket360@gmail.com. I'll put that link down there in the description. You can check us out on Twitter, docket360 on Twitter. Patreon starting up. I'm going to be putting up some really, really in-depth half-hour, 45-minute long tutorials for Patreon. I keep the prices low on Patreon, $1 and $5. So it all depends on what you want to do, and that's monthly, so it's not like every video you got to pay. So I'm doing that. Check that out. That's Docket360 as well over on Patreon. I'll put all these links will be down in the description below. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this, found it informative, and you guys have a good one.